everyone. It's so good to have you on this taping of the Recovery in Action. We're so thankful to be here. There's so much going on around our community, and it's Christmas, and there's so many people that are just enjoying the holidays, enjoying it with their families. And today, again, as what we do on Recovery in Action, we want to offer you hope. We want to show you ways of recovery that is in action on a couple of my guests today. We have Tina and Haley that's with me, and they are in recovery. And today we're going to talk about the meaning of Christmas, what Christmas really means to them and what Christmas means to everyone that is in recovery. This is a hard time of year for people that are in addiction and people that are in recovery, because statistics shows that in the month of December, around the holidays, suicides, overdoses, there are so many things that affects people's lives. But we want to offer you hope today, because these are two women that I know that have made such a difference in their lives by just coming to the realization that they needed help, and that they're offering hope to people. And when I asked them to be my guest on the show, Haley had mentioned, she said, you know, one thing that's going to make and help people stronger is by them sharing their testimonies. And that's what it's about. The Bible even says that we're overcomers by the words of our testimonies. And that means that when something good happens to us, we need to tell people about it. So when they're struggling, they will know what is going on, and they will know where there's help, and they'll know that there is hope, because they can watch people. And I just wanted to open up by saying what a blessed time of year, and we always want to remember that Jesus is the reason for the season, and we're celebrating his birthday. And I would just like to read a poem that I found, and I thought we would start the show off with this. It's called "Christ is the Light of Christmas." Christmas joy and lights aglow, Christmas songs to warm and cheer. Excitement is on the children's faces as anticipation fills the air. But for some it can be lonely when loved ones have passed away. Memories are all that linger as the years begin to fade. But Christ's light should never dim, it should ever shine out bright. Our ray of hope in this troubled world is our joy of eternal light. Christmas, when spent with Jesus, can warm our hurting hearts. For as his light shines within us, it glows warm. Its glow warms our deepest parts. And that's what I wanted to express today and throughout the whole month of December. Every time someone watches this show, that Jesus is the reason for the season. And with him in your heart, and him helping you, giving you strength to overcome, recovery is possible, even through the holidays, even through the hardest times. There's homeless people, there are people that doesn't have food, there are people that won't have a warm house to go to, and we are blessed. I am a very blessed person. Tina and Haley are very blessed, and I just want you to know that we want to offer hope, prayers, and love to everyone that watches this show. And I would like to introduce you now to Haley Ernstis and Tina Young. And I'm so glad that they decided to join me today. And we're just going to start off. I just had a question that I'm going to ask both of you. And I just want you to share from your heart. You know, Haley, what does Christmas mean to you this year?
Christmas this year is totally different than any Christmas. First, being sober, and getting to spend it with my family, which I mean, I'm not looking forward to Christmas, and I know that might sound weird because I'm sober and things are better, but
Christmas is hard.
It is. And that poem you read kind of hit home with me, and it was hard to listen to it without crying, because I I feel like that helped me a lot hearing that. You know, because Christmas is hard and dealing with all the stuff from our addiction, and I'm only 5 months and 5 days clean. So there's still a lot of things that I'm dealing with, and but I can say that in recovery and having Jesus in my life, there is hope,
Yes.
and I don't have to feel alone. You know, I don't have my whole family together for Christmas, and memories are all I have of, you know, my husband. He passed away, and this will be my first Christmas without him sober.
Yes.
But with God, I've realized I've built a new family with the support I have in recovery,
Yes.
and there's hope that one day, you know, I will be happy, joyous, and free, what everybody talks about in recovery.
Absolutely.
And I'm getting a taste of that now because I don't have to, you know, I don't have to dread Christmas coming just because it isn't the same as it was before. But I know that I have people there, and life is slowly getting better.
Absolutely. And the joyous part, you have a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, you are mommy in action as well
Yes.
as recovery in action.
Yes.
And to see those little faces light up, and to be able to spend Christmas with them, like, you know, like you said, and is this, how many years has it been since you've had a sober Christmas?
Since I was a child.
Yeah.
I mean, I started using at the age of 13, so the only sober Christmases I had was when I was carrying my kids, and it was only because I was pregnant, so
Yes.
it's definitely different, but I've never looked at Christmas. I always looked at Christmas as like Santa Claus, getting gifts and stuff, and learning in my recovery is, to me, it's Jesus' birthday. It's not about me being happy. It's not about me. It is about him, and it's about celebrating that day and doing for others, you know, what, I don't know, it's just,
Giving back.
yeah, giving back and
Yeah.
not thinking about ourselves for once.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Because when you're in addiction, the addiction, we were just talking about that. I was sharing with a young lady earlier. You know, the demon runs you. You know, the drug. You know, it's not you. You know, addiction does not define you. It's a state that you're in, and you know, but it's definitely not Haley, and it's not Tina. You know, it's not who you are, but it's what you are at that time. And that's where people, and you know, now when they see you, you know, there's such a difference. There's such a difference. And I mean, we have to chuckle, you know, when I first met you, you know, and it's like, you know, now I see in you this beautiful, young, vibrant woman, and you know, enjoying your children, you know, working and being successful. And you are what this show is about. I mean, you are recovery in action. So Tina, share with me, what does this year, what does Christmas mean to you?
I think it means a lot of different things. Just sitting here before the show, thinking about it, my son's birthday is on Christmas, and he'll be 4 this Christmas, and it's the first Christmas I've been with him sober, because, I mean, in my addiction, his first and second birthday, I was in prison. I was incarcerated. And then by last year, I was using again. And I thought that just being with him, at least I was with him, you know, but I was still in my addiction and high. So I'm really thankful this year that I get to be with him and be with him sober, you know. And we had the ladies from St. Gabriel's come up and decorate, you know, just the little things like that. He got to help put up the Christmas lights, and he got to help, Haley's kids were there, you know. Haley and I were with our kids decorating the Christmas tree, and I cried, you know, just to sit back. And it's the little things like that that make the holidays the holidays. It's not the money and the expensive gifts, and it's the little things, you know. It's seeing Aiden every time he comes to the house say, "Me birthday, me lights, me Christmas." You know, it's little things like that, and
That was so adorable when he was, I'll never forget that, because when they're decorating for Christmas, it's me birthday, it's me birthday.
Yes.
He's thinking that we're decorating all
Right.
of this for him. Isn't that precious,
Yes.
though? I mean, it is the little things, like you
Right.
say.
And I'm really excited this year too, because he's been coming to church with me. So I've been talking to him about how he shares the same birthday as Jesus. You know, how, you know, you're so special. You and Jesus have the same birthday, and it's raising my child up the way of Christ, and to be able to, you know, he'll pray now when we eat. He'll hold everybody's hands. Haley's kids does too. But I think more than anything, it's just the little things, being with the ladies at the house and seeing them come farther. And for me, it's getting out of self and seeing what joy Christmas brings to the little kids and to everybody else. Help somebody else. You know, in the month of December, smile at somebody, give them a hug, tell them Jesus loves you, you know, because we are blessed, and I'm very thankful, but not everybody is as blessed as, you know, we
right.
are. You know, so go out of your way to shake somebody's hand, give them a hug, tell them Jesus loves them this month, because it's hard. It is.
And you know, the thing about it is, and that is so true, because this is a lonely time of year.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I am, you know, I am clean, I'm sober, I am, you know, but, you know, I lost my dad about 4 years ago, and there's so many things, like you said, the memories, you know, they flood back. And you don't even have to be thinking, you know, about it, but they just flood. When it's the holidays, your memories just flood over you. And no matter what, I mean, even at Thanksgiving, you know, when all my family was there, and I was thinking about my dad, you know, I mean, it was so precious, you know, the things that I can remember him saying and doing, and, you know, let's put the tree up, you know. We'd put it up on Thanksgiving, and so many times on Christmas Eve, he says, let's take the tree down after everybody left. But, you know, there's making memories, and your children are young enough. I mean, the memories that you're making now is going to be forever, you know, forever memories. And it's such a blessing to be able to share that time, and to, you know, to be able to be with them. And like you said, clean and sober, I mean, just enjoying every moment with them.
Yeah.
And when you took Aiden this weekend to
Go get Santa.
go get Santa, I mean, just stuff like that is so precious.
Right.
It is so precious.
And I've done all that before. I did that all last year, you know, but I was high.
Yeah.
So it's, the holidays are hard and everything, but I'm just so proud of Haley, myself, and all the girls at the house, because they're hard, but we're doing the dang thing, you know what I mean? We're doing it sober. You know, we go to meetings, we talk to each other about it, because it is hard and lonely, and you can beat yourself up about where you're at, where you should be. But the main thing, I was talking to Haley last night, is it's rough and it's hard, but today we're doing it sober. You know, we're taking the hard route and we're doing it. So I'm super thankful. And
You know, and the guilt and shame. We watched a video yesterday and it was on the will to recover, and it was talking about guilt and shame. And yes, we've made mistakes. You know, yes, we've made bad choices. Yes, you know, to all the above. But the main thing is recognizing and taking responsibility for what, you know, the actions and the behaviors that have become such a part of people with active addiction, and turning them around and making things, you know, better. And that's the key. You know, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes bad choices. You know, young, old, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. And it's one of those things we have to stay focused on what we can do today. We can't think about, you know, a year from now, 2 years from now, but today, you know, you're here. You're doing wonderful. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's what is so important. But if you could say something to someone today, Tina, I mean, if you could just tell someone, you know, what you need to do to help them get through the, you know, the Christmas, you know, the loneliness, the hurt, the anger, the, you know, the abandonment, whatever they are feeling, what would you tell someone today?
I would definitely tell anybody that there are people out there who love you, and I wouldn't be where I am today without my higher power, who I call Jesus Christ, and He has never left me. And there's meetings to go to, there's people to talk to, and that there's no mistakes and no failures if you learn from what you've done. So when you beat yourself up about all the stuff you failed out, as long as you learned something from it, you know, and just before I came to the house, my uncle, he told me, and it just stuck with me. He's like, you know, so what? You know, you messed up again. Big deal. What you do from this moment on is what makes a difference. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get to stepping. Do the footwork, and you don't have to stay in that. It's hard for me because to remember that feeling, you know, of the loneliness. But I don't have that feeling anymore. And if I could bottle it up and give it to everybody, I wish I could, because there is a way out, you know, and there is hope. And there are people out there that love you and care about you and are willing to help. So just, you know, don't give up. Don't give up, and you don't have to stay where you're at. And Jesus loves you.
That's right. Never forget that. And that's one thing, too, that I want to share is there's meetings. Monday night, there's Better Days. It's at the Christian school there on Iowa Avenue. On Tuesday night, there's a meeting at Community Corrections.
Yep.
Wednesday night, they have a meeting at Community Corrections and the Parish House over on Eastern Avenue. On Thursday night, there is an NA meeting at Community Corrections. And then on Friday night, they have Celebrate Recovery at Calvary Baptist. And there's a meeting on Friday nights also at the Parish House. There's meetings at St. Gabriel's on Sunday evenings, I believe it is. I mean, there's a meeting almost every day of the week. And at this time of the year, you need that support. You need to not try to do this on your own. So anytime that you need help, call someone. Don't try to get through the holidays all by yourself. Call someone. But this is going to be interesting because I want to hear from Haley on this. But we have a picture of Haley when she first came to the house of Ruth. And Haley, looking at that picture, just tell me a little bit of what you feel when you see that. This is Haley before, and this is Haley now.
Wow. When I look at my before picture, it is, I mean, all these emotions flood me because I realize now how hopeless and lonely I was. And at that point in my life, I didn't feel like there was any way out. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel like there was a reason. You know, I was so hopeless and lost. And looking at my after picture, I can definitely see the growth. And, I mean, then I was trying to fill this void. Mm-hmm. I didn't really think I looked that bad until I compared them now. And it's really bad.
You thought you looked good.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I didn't think anybody knew that I was using, or, you know, I thought that I was better off than somebody else because my addiction didn't take me certain places other people's addiction did. And looking at it makes me realize how just sad I was and lost in life. And I realize now, you can be happy. You can have a good life. And I never thought I was going to get out of that misery and that darkness. But having one little strand of hope given to me and support was all I needed to grab onto to have what I have now. And I mean, it's not perfect, but if somebody was to ask me today, the difference of how I feel every day compared to them, there is hope no matter where you are in life, no matter what you've done or what you've been through. There's somebody there to pull you out of it. And like Tina said, there are people that care, and it's hard to see when you're at that dark time in your life. But there are so many people that care. And if you push through each struggle, one struggle at a time, and deal with it, one at a time, it gets easier. We didn't get here overnight. I didn't get looking like that overnight.
No.
Right.
So I don't expect to just be all healed and better. And just because I'm sober doesn't mean I'm better. I'm working day by day. And, I'm going to mess up. And this isn't something I can do perfectly. But I feel like that God knows our hearts. And as long as, like Tina said, we make mistakes and we learn from them, He realizes that as long as we strive to do a little bit better or change something about ourselves, we don't have to be 100% for Him. As long as we're trying every day to change what we did yesterday, that's all that matters.
Isn't that amazing, grace and mercy?
It is.
Amen.
Thank God for it, because none of us are perfect.
No.
And I tell people that all the time. We have not arrived. And recovery's hard. Recovery is hard. It takes a bold woman, a man or a woman, to admit, I need help. There's a lot of people that the reason that they don't get help is because they just won't ask for it. And there are places, and it's just like Haley said, there are places out there that will help you. There are people that will invest their time in you. There's people that will pray for you. There's people that will help you. But you have to desire. Recovery, like I said, is very hard. It's not something simple. It's not something that, just like Haley said, it's not something that you're just going to wake up one day and say, okay, I'm done, I'm over it, I'm not going to do nothing anymore. You need help. Your physical body will go through pain. They'll go through withdrawal. It will go through, your physical body itself will be mad at you, for a better way of putting it. Because you quit using drugs. And it's one of those things, but just like looking at these two young women, it should let you know. And Tina, I'm so excited for her. She's in college now. She has always wanted to go to college, and now she has started her college courses. Haley starts college in February. They're both working. They're getting their children. They are, life is changing for them, but they had to make changes in their life to get those changes started. You can't live in your past and hope to change your future. You have to change everything about what you are doing, your lifestyle, your behaviors, the company that you keep. It's more than just saying, I'm not going to do drugs. Everything about you has to change. Tell us a little bit, just, take a brief moment, and just how have you changed that in your life, Tina, as far as being around people? How have you had to make a change in the places you go, the people you see?
I definitely have to have boundaries in the people that I talk to. And I have empathy for the addict who still suffers, and I pray for the addict who still suffers every night. But I have to have those boundaries, because if anybody needs help or wants help or prayer, I'm there. I'll try to get you help. I'll tell you where a meeting's at. I can pray with you. But then that's it. I have to put my boundaries up, and until they're willing to help themselves, there's no more I can do. And sometimes I feel selfish in that, but I have to be, because I still have to put my recovery first.
Exactly.
And it's a whole lifestyle change, people, places, and things, and that's why I'm thankful that I'm in recovery in Connersville, because I'm learning how to be sober in Connersville, because I don't plan on leaving, and I'm learning sober people. I'm getting a whole new group of support, and definitely sober places, meetings, churches. So it's a whole lifestyle change, because if I were to hang around my old people, I could maybe be strong for a half hour. I could maybe be strong for a couple hours. But if I continue to put myself in the same situations, all it takes is one moment to destroy what has taken me months to build.
Exactly.
I don't have to be strong forever, but all it takes is 1 minute to be weak, and it can all just fall down. So it definitely is, people, places, and things. And for me, coming into recovery, I realized a lot of those people weren't really my friends. They're my acquaintances.
Right.
We got high together, but since I've been clean, I don't see them or anything like that. So.
Okay. Very good. Because I totally agree. Totally. Everything about you has to change.
Right.
In the same way with Haley. I mean, everything that we do, the people we go around, even family.
Yeah.
It's sad to say, and that's like the definition of insanity. If you keep doing the same things over and over and you're expecting a different result, that's the definition of insanity. You have to make changes. You have to be aware that the things you're doing isn't working for you. And when you realize, they haven't got you very far thus far, they're not going to get you any farther. But you have to come to that realization, and you have to come to that understanding, and you have to want the help. You have to want it. Just like Tina said, and I say this every day, recovery is hard. It's one of the hardest things that you will do, but it's so rewarding for you and your family, for, building relationships, for everything that has been taken from you can be put back to you if you would just allow people to help you, people to comfort you, people to encourage you and support you. And prayer is, just cry out. There's a song by Casting Crowns. Just cry out to Jesus. We listen to
that.
it, and, when you're laying there alone and you feel like no one cares, maybe they don't at that time, because you've burned a lot of bridges. You have, we have to own up what has happened in our lives. Why do people feel that way? They just didn't wake up and not like you. You have to take responsibility and accountability for what has happened in your life. And when you do and you want the change is definitely possible. It is so possible. And as we conclude our show, I just want to tell everybody, and I just want to speak to everyone that has watched. We want you to have the merriest Christmas possible. And do you want to tell Merry Christmas to anyone?
Merry Christmas to my kids, Ellie, Callie, and Max, and to the addicts who still suffer. Merry Christmas.
And I'll say Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday to my son Aiden, and all the girls at the house, and my family, and we love you, and you can do it.
And we just want to wish everyone a Merry, Merry Christmas. And I want to wish all of my family and my grandkids, and especially the women at the House of Ruth, a Merry Christmas. And God bless every one of you.